Hello, this is Mpoti. Welcome to the first video on Speed C# fundamentals. We are going to be talking about arrays. When you declare your variable, it has a data type and a variable name. Just like a variable, an array has a data type and a variable name. Only difference is when you declare your array, just after the data type, you have two block brackets followed by the name of your array. The declaration looks like this: array of type string called names. I recommend array names to be plural and named after what they will be storing. In this case, the array will be storing a bunch of names. Let's say we have a train. This train has a cart. The cart can only store one thing at a time. Now let's say this train can only store words in its cart. So we can store the word orange in the cart. Now let's add two more carts to the train. This means that we can now store two more words for our train to carry. Ideologically, this is how you can simply think of an array to be structured. Declaration and initialization of our train array that stores the names of fruits looks like this. What this line of code says is that we are declaring an array that stores strings called fruits, which we set to equal to a new string array with the following data. Hence we use the new keyword. We can also store data without pointing to a new array. Now I want you to look at the first line and the last line and compare them. Notice that on the last line, we have a 3 inside our block bracket. What this means is that this array will only be able to store 3 items. Anything more than that will get an overflow exception. Now let's go back to the train example. How do we access the data stored in this array? Well, we do this by indexing. Let's say the cards now have an index of 0, 1, and 2. When we index arrays, it always starts at 0. In the case where we might have a label on our form and want to display the word orange, we would do it like this. Same thing for writing the word apple on our label. To replace or store a value into our array, we must include the index position in our block brackets. Now we're going to create a new forms application, and then I'm going to name it arrays. So now I'm just going to pop in on this form a button, and I'm also going to place a label. I'm going to double click on the button and go into the coding section, and then I'm going to type in my array, and this is the array that I created. Now I'm going to display, let's say, apple on my label. So I'm going to say label1 dot text equals to fruit, and then I'm going to place the index. Now we currently know that apple is currently at the index of 1. It's going to be displayed right here. Now I'm just going to run my program, and we could see that it works. Now I'm going to grab this array and increase its scope so that every time I click on the button, it doesn't create a new array. Now I want to replace apple with the word strawberry. To do that, or to store something into my array, I'm just basically going to say fruits and give it the index of 1, which is where apple is in our array, and say that it's equal to strawberry. I'm going to place this down here so that we could see the result. Now if I run my application, you could see that it now changed to strawberry. Now what I want to show you is, if I try to change my index right here to 4, and we don't have an index of 4 because there's no data in our array that's stored in the index of 4, and try to run the program, when I click my button I'm going to get an exception. This is because there's no data stored at the index of 4. But now what I can do inside my block brackets when I initialize my array is put in a value of 3, and what this value tells us is that how many values or how many indexes I want to have in my array. This is the end of our video. Don't forget to put a thumbs up and subscribe.